Based on your experience in the Secret Service,
Yeah.
are the American people really supposed to buy that they do not know whose cocaine it is in the White House?
Listen, I love the Secret Service, okay? It's the reverse 80-20 rule. You know the 80-20 rule? 20% of people do 80% of the work? My experience in the Secret Service is 80% of the guys are great and 20%, not terrible, but not so much, right? You don't really find that in any organization. Having said that, I got to look at this objectively now. I'm on the media side now. It's not my job to be a propagandist for anyone. I can tell you I probably received no less than 50, let's just say, communications from retired friends of mine who were disgusted by this. There is simply no way they did not know who that person was. Let me paint for you, without giving up any intricate details, how security in the West Wing works. The East Wing, right, the residence side, tons of people go through there. Ushers, tour groups, everything. The West Wing is tiny, tiny. It's like it's no bigger than like a big apartment in Manhattan, like a rich person would have. It's not like you saw in that TV show, The West Wing, where they're walking down these expansive hallways. There's none of that. The hallways are like maybe 10 yards long and you turn, it's a big circle. So on the weekends, it's really limited. There's probably less than 1,000 people that went through there. So you're telling me with a straight face, right, that a non-porous substance, a plastic baggie, where a latent print could be pulled easily, that you couldn't find a print, and then you're telling me you really couldn't narrow down the suspects? So someone dragged, forget the coke for a minute, forget the cocaine. Someone took white powder, maybe 100 feet away from the president where those cubbies are and where they walk and work. Someone brought white powder in and you have no idea who it is? I mean, come on, man. You've got a whole readout of people. Every one of those people should be interviewed. Every one. Listen, I've defended them when I thought they got a rough shake. Not this time, man. That director needs to tighten it up.
Well, how would you run it if it was your investigation? Would
It's
you
very
have
simple.
everybody be drug tested?
This is not complicated. Well, they already are drug tested, the staff in the Secret Service. So they're drug tested now. So you can say 1,000 people went through the West Wing, which is probably about right on that weekend. It was found on Sunday, probably left on a Friday or a Saturday night, okay? The president was out, Hunter Biden leaves on Friday. All right, so now you've got, say, 1,000 people. You can automatically dump the Secret Service and the staff. They don't use the cubby holes. They wouldn't have left anything in the cubbies. So now you're down to probably, realistically, 250 people. A guy or a woman got white powder in the White House. You're interviewing every single one of those 250 people. There's none of this, oh, we don't have enough resources. You know, the government had enough resources for January 6th. Yeah, and realistically, too, not to belabor the point, you can probably eliminate another 100 right away. A couple of older folks came in, didn't use the cubbies. You can't interview 100 people? That's garbage. I don't buy it.
So do you think we'll ever find out at this point?
Listen, man, I mean, the government is so messed up and so corrupt right now. It's really sad. Like, you argue all you want about the deep state being a conspiracy theory or whatever. That's all bullshit. Like, it's real, okay? We've already seen corruption in the intel community, the FBI. Are we going to find out the answers? I don't know. I'm not like the Stygian witches, so I can't predict the future. But I'm going to tell you this. I'm just looking in the camera and begging the Secret Service leadership now. Just don't do to America what the FBI did. I mean, that's a respected institution, pretty much nonpartisan, worthy of trust and confidence. That's their motto. Literally says worthy of trust and confidence. Don't burn that agency to the ground like the FBI did. There's just, we can't take anymore, you know?
Yeah. So speaking of the FBI, Republican Congressman Ken Buck just said Christopher Wray was, what did he say?
That's
he
bullshit.
He said he's doing okay.
He said he was, no, he's
yeah,
not
what do you say about that?
Yeah, listen, to Twinkies, Chris Christie, and this other, I like Ken Buck a lot. Ken Buck's been a decent guy on a lot of stuff. That's the craziest thing I've ever heard. This guy has been in charge, right? With the targeting of pro-lifers, the targeting of Catholics, the targeting of parents at school boards, the Spygate operation and the aftermath. What else do you need to hear with this guy? This guy has been a total train wreck. How is that a good, by what independent measure is that a good job? If you were running a private company and that had happened, you would have been fired and the shareholders would have revolted. Well, America's got shareholders too. They're called freaking citizens, and we're tired of this stuff with these guys. We sold the stock on the deep state a long time ago. It's time for this guy to move on. then every Republican candidate out there running for office, if they tell you this guy's going to stay, then throw their vote right in the garbage because they ain't worth it.
Do you think if we move the FBI out of D.C., maybe into Alabama or like what Republicans, do you think that would work?
I love it. I say move the FBI to Florida, right, Paul? Like, move the FBI to Florida. We got a beautiful, we'll take you down in Florida somewhere. Move it to Alabama. I saw, what was it, Huntsville maybe in Alabama? It's a great idea. I worked in D.C., and the problem is you get kind of inculcated in that swampy culture. I say not just the FBI. I say pull them all out of D.C. Put some in Omaha, Nebraska. I mean, spread it around. Maybe they'll get inculcated in this place that politicians call flyover country, but like we call home, you know? And maybe they'll act a little bit more like this is home and not some swampy institution.
Give me the info about your book.
So yeah, we got a new book coming out. It's called The Gift of Failure. I got basically tired of reading books. I'm so glad you reminded me about the book.
Yeah, I was like so absorbed.
I owe you a picture. So you read all these books about all these people telling you how great they are, right? Oh, look, I'm so wonderful. Here's how I succeeded. So I told my wife, I'm going to write a book about everything I effed up. And it is everything. Like, I screwed up so much stuff in my life. And the thing is, like, you dust off, right? You dust off, you get up, and you fix it. So the book is really raw. I tell a lot of stories I probably shouldn't tell, but about things I really screwed up and how every single one of those failures was a gift. So available for pre-order now, comes out in about a month or so. So Gift of Failure, check it out, I appreciate it.